Our guys are pretty happy. I'll say that. It again showed the determination, the fight, the ability to win games in different fashions. I thought you had some monster performances in that locker room, and it's what we talk about. We're trying to collect points, so I don't care how we do it. Give Portland a lot of credit. They were on top of us. It was their home. It was a derby match, but at the end of the day, we walked out of here with 3 points and a little bit of satisfaction for what they did to us a couple weeks ago.
You talk about
24-15 in the first half, but then you outdueled the Timbers 34-15 in the second. What changed?
Well, I think the mindset of the group coming out in the second half was better. They obviously understood that there were some moments in the first half that we weren't playing as well as we could, as well as we should have, and giving away a couple balls, and we're always under it a little bit. I think in the second half, you saw a determined group. Not just to, I know that's one of my favorite stats, but, keep a little bit more possession, get up the field a little bit more, put them under some pressure. It just comes down to that team wants to win.
You moved into a 5-3-2 around the 55th minute. The next 15, 20 minutes were pretty rough possession-wise. Did you feel like you changed anything to kind of rediscover the game a little bit, or did it just kind of the ebb and flow of the match?
A little bit of ebb and flow in the match. I mean, they were overloading the wing channels, and the 3 guys in the middle were they as in sync as we would have liked in that initial change. But, when I brought Roman on, I think that settled things down a little bit, put Gustav back in the middle of the field. I think that helped.
Can you talk about a couple of the monster performances in that locker room?
Well, all 18 of them. They're all monsters. Kim Keehee scoring that goal. He's actually not trying to take credit for it. I'm just saying that. He's actually a humble guy. But not just that play, but there was 100 plays that you could go back and watch the film, from Steph making saves, from everybody, Kelvin on an injured ankle. Everybody pitched in tonight.
You put 2 up front. Go ahead, Moss.
I'm sorry, Matt. When you talked about the commitment in the second half, was there a commitment to defense coming out in the second half, especially in the middle of the field?
No. Look, the middle of the field, Ozzy was great. I mean, you guys can rewatch and tell me, but he was great. Gustav, I shifted him back, then he went back in the midfield. I mean, he and Gustav do a lot of the dirty work in that middle part of the area of the field. Again, trying to get the best out of Raul, trying to get the best out of this group. Each game is a little different. The ebb and flow of the game. We'll make those decisions. We'll watch the film and make those decisions.
How was Lerdon's ankle, and was Brad Smith precautionary?
Brad Smith was precautionary. I had rolled him out there a lot longer than the staff wanted me to. And Kelvin dinged up his ankle pretty good, but he's a tough kid. He'll be okay.
You mentioned Ozzy. Seems like he's really been in vintage form these last few weeks. Do you think he's sent any sort of message with how he's been playing lately? Like, okay, I'm still the best D-mid in this league.
He sent a few messages out there. I don't know who he's sending them to, whether it's Portland, whether we see them again, all that sort of stuff. I think Ozzy's pride is his overall who he is what is showing out there. Everybody goes through times where they're injured or, things don't go your way. He has persevered through some of those tough moments. So, it's all credit to him.
Is the post-game beer, is that a standard thing after a win, or is that just a Portland thing?
Well, I don't want to give away any secrets, Matt. I mean, we do enjoy a nice ice-cold beer. It tastes better after a good win, and it certainly tastes really good after this particular win.
Sure, and you mentioned Ozzy sort of sending some messages. You said maybe even for something down the road. Did it kind of feel like one of those games where the teams were getting into each other on a level that you could see that chippy. Coming back?
Yeah, it was a little chippy.
For sure.
It was a little chippy. I mean, Penzo had his hands full. It wasn't an easy game to ref. So I thought he did okay, and, it's hard to look too far forward into the future. We don't know if anything will come out of that, but look, it's just a derby match. It's a rival game. We talked about the Cascadia Cup. That's important for those guys in there. They want to make sure that cup comes back to us. So they get it. They understand it. And it's their personal pride. Again, it's those individuals in that locker room. It's their individual pride that makes them perform like they do.
Brad Smith got his first derby match today, getting in a bit of a dust up there with Blanco. Do you think he's a good welcome to the rivalry and a good performance today?
Yeah, happy to have him on the field. I mean, you guys see his quality, so happy to have him. You guys can ask him about what he thought about the match.
Brian, in the derby match, how pleased are you that it was scrappy, but the players kind of kept their heads about them and didn't do anything to keep 11 players on the field?
That's always good. There was only that one altercation, but for the most part, our guys have been behaving themselves.
Did you see what you wanted to with Bruin and Rui Diaz up top? Is that relationship?
It's hard to say, man. I got to watch the film. That was such an emotional game for, the players, the coaches, the fans, everybody. I got to watch the tape to think through clearly to see if we really got that. But again, we were under it. Portland put us under a lot of pressure, so a lot of that was just Bruin relieving some of the pressure from Raul. Maybe not the best soccer.